Hello everyone, I'm Firefly, and this is Fallout New Vegas. We're gonna go to the Forbidden Zone and beat up Mobious. If we can even really beat him up. But you know what I mean. Alright. The Forbidden Zone.
Tail locking on. You won't escape me.
Escape me? You're not gonna be able to escape me.
You're no match for science. Oh, my minions.
I'll have you know I am at 100 science, therefore I am the perfect match for said science. I'm also not wearing combat armor, so that definitely does not help. Let's go with... I had bitter drink somewhere. There we go. We'll do 2 of those. And we'll do 2 stim packs. How's that?
You won't escape me.
I gotta loot all these. Getting out of here. Oh god. Holy shit. Let's go, let's go, let's go! Oh my god. Okay. To be fair, I didn't do this properly. Oh shit. Alright, so first of all, we're gonna have to have healing just going. That's... we're gonna need Psycho and Medics. Ooh. My armor condition's dangerously low. Oh my god, okay. Oh, you know what? I have the Tesla cannon.
In the name of Mobious.
Ooh. Take that! I don't care about your radiation. Yeah, that's right. You can't do nothing.
This is a pre-recorded attack message indicating my desire to commit violence on you.
that bad. I'm a little overpowered, to be honest. Oh my god! Well, damn, okay, I did it. Do I want barter to be 100? My speech, survival. What is that anyway? Yeah, just consumable items. We'll put it in the lockpick. Yeah. Wasn't that fun? Now, before I confront Mobious, I'm just gonna replenish everything around here. We'll take some stuff, see what's what. Emergency shutdown terminal. Oh, so I'm assuming that was for the Robo-Scorpion. Which, honestly, doesn't bother me anyway. Ah, Mobious Robo-Scorpion. There we go. Find samples for the biological research station. So when I'm done with the biological research station, I'll, so I'm assuming, like, more seeds. I have to get more dried seeds. So I went over there. What's over here? Ah, drone control. Giant Robo-Scorpion test log. The Saturnite armor plating on the giant Robo-Scorpion has exceeded expectations, mostly. While it's virtually impervious to small arms fire, the sonic emitter that Parsons brought in managed to fry several of the prototype subsystems. We'll have to look into improved EMP shielding for the next prototype. On a more positive note, the prototype's new automatic laser is performing admirably. Some residual radiation is left behind after the weapon discharges. It may be necessary to requisition more radiation suits and meds as a precaution. The constant improvements to the giant Robo-Scorpion has rendered the Protectron models we've been using as hostile communist forces largely ineffective. At this stage, they're little more than distractions. So I guess with that, I probably could have set them loose. Like, it's either I could have had the emergency shutdown. Oh, radiation suit. Emergency shutdown. I could have, sent the drones. All that fun stuff. Yeah, power regulation. Backup generator log. The new automatic laser is putting an incredible strain on the giant Robo-Scorpion's generator. Damn thing shut down right in the middle of weapons testing last week. I pushed for reducing the laser's output by 25%. Instead, they slapped a backup generator onto the Scorpion. Dangerous, if you ask me. The systems weren't designed to handle the power from two systems at once, and if some rookie tech fires up the backup generator too early... Oh, so I guess this is like... Here are the things you can do to do it. Like, to do the things. I'm assuming. But really, I didn't need it. Too good. Ooh. No. There we go. Well, there's also that side I can get to. Let me see what's up here. What do you got in here? Just medical supplies. Stuff if I need to heal myself with. That's it. That's not bad. Alright, let's go confront Mobious. I don't know if they want him killed or not, or if they just want to give him a talking to. So let's just see what options they give us, and we'll probably go from there. There's literally, like, only him. Hi, Mobius. Oh yeah, your shit's broken.
Huh? Yo, hello there. You are there, aren't you? Forgive my confusion. So hard to tell these days. You seem familiar somehow. I'm guessing, you're here for your brain, perhaps? It's just up there. Such a nice brain, young, very bright.
Thank you.
A little hard to see you. Can you walk into my left, right FOV cone? Ah, that's it. You're coming into focus nicely.
He seems very confused. Is that better?
Depth perception is a problem with this old monitor of mine. Went black a while ago. That's old age for you. Should look at getting the visual nerves reattached. It's just that the right eye would see the wrong things. Flying tortoises were the worst.
Uh-oh.
Would you care for a mentat?
Thanks.
I love mentats. Delicious and smarty. I have all sorts of amazingly science-orific thoughts and ideas when those chalky talents are zipping through my biogel. I forget them all not long after, though. Especially with the data constipating my memory core. Afraid binary streams might shoot out my chassis. Had to start using the dome floor and walls here to inscribe equations. Although I've somewhat lost track of where they start and
Dude,
end.
you need your biogel moved. You aren't exactly what I was expecting.
Really? That implies preconceived notions, theories, and a hypothesis about this meeting? Please extrapolate. What was I supposed to be like? After all, it might be worth a cognitive realignment if your theoretical Mobious is better than I.
Why'd you steal my brain?
Oh, a variety of reasons. You're something of a homily.
Raisins.
Anomaly? You're really quite special, and not in the cranially challenged way. You see, you are the most successful brain extraction experiment ever performed here at Big Mountain. A victim of your own success, as it were. If you were to go back with what your brain knows about the procedure, well, your brain could be popped back in and you could walk right out of here. Can't have brains moving around of their own volition.
Oh, why is that a problem?
I'm not sure, except that I'm sure there's a very good reason for it.
A raisin.
I have very good reasons for almost everything I do. Even if I forget them occasionally. Although I feel this one is especially important. Oh well.
I was curious about some things.
Oh, curiosity. I experience that less now that I know everything. Oh, maybe it was when I found out some unpleasant answers.
Unpleasant answers. I can't fix your monitor, but if you're getting ghost reception, I can fix that.
The ghosts aren't real? That changes everything. Why, I can save my computing power for other perceptual impossibilities. Please be my guest. The receptor is there, and the side-switching wobbly bob, just turn that. Good, good, better. Oh, yes, that feels wonderful. This is even better than my afternoon mentats break.
Well, I fixed his ghosts. Okay. Can you tell me about your robo-scorpions?
Well, every scientist needs an army. Mine came to me after these rather large scorpions kept coming in from the desert, like poisonous frosting.
Frosting?
How scary, I thought. But they had survived when nothing else had. Perfect candidates for improvement as a reward for their tenacity. Then I thought, what if they shot energy bolts and acted as walking eyes and data-drained computers and acted as bullhorns? Then I made them bigger. Then I thought about custard. I do so love custard. Or was it mustard? Mustard custard. I miss sugars and salts.
I was curious about some things.
I find things curious as well. Go on.
You don't seem aggressive. Why broadcast... Oh my god, words! Broadcast threats to the think tank.
Oh, I was probably tripping hard on Psycho when I sent that. Had to work myself up to it. Not usually violent, except when I am. Then, watch out! So many chems, such varieties. Whenever I take mentats, I can feel my entire chassis breathe like a big spherical lung. As for the Psycho, sometimes get the chem dispositories in my tank all switched up. Go in the wrong tube. Still, served its purpose.
Oh! Wait. Sounds like you built the Robo-Scorpions, issued threats to keep the think tank occupied.
Did I? Maybe I did. Can't have them leaving. Some reason for it. Ethics or, conscience? You and your brain are quite alike. I'm sure it knows the reasons better than I do.
Everything you've told me doesn't add up. Your plan, even your name. Mobious.
Dr. Mobious. Rather catchy, isn't it? It's my name, and my new name overwrote the old one. This name's as real as you or I. Although I believe your brain expressed similar incredulity at the nature of such an appellation. Someone's been watching too many old-world science fiction movies, it said. I believe it meant me. I must admit I have a vulnerability for holotape fantasies of planets and robots and all that is forbidden. As for the name I was born with, like the think tank, we were all reprogrammed to forget them, take on new names. It enforces the recursion loop in our perception programming.
You reprogram their names as part of recursion loop? What, to trap their processors?
Now, trap is a rather harsh word, like excrement. Not an inappropriate word, but still rather harsh. But, yes, I did take some liberties with their programming. It's all right, they don't remember. I certainly didn't until you said trap, and then I said excrement, and then...
Why did you trap them?
The radar fence to keep the think tank hemmed in wasn't really enough. They keep testing things. They would have found a way to disarm it. I suspect I have Plan 9s in place, but I may have coded myself to forget them, just in case. They're probably very dangerous, lethal, or worse. So I had to do something else to keep them occupied here. Or as you like to say, trapped. I prefer to have several Plan 9s in case the 7s fail.
Keep going, I want to hear the rest of this.
Dr. O, which is actually not his real name multiplied, since you can't multiply his real name in the first place. Ouroboros, Klein, they have all forgotten themselves. And not only themselves, but the world, sense of time and history. All that is left is what's here. I reprogrammed their chronometers, geometers, and cartography programs. This is now their world, here, Big Mountain. It was a merciful lobotomy, really, thinking back. They were my friends, but sometimes they would take things too far. And the world isn't ready for that kind of too-far thing-taking. That's my professional opinion, anyway. And I am told I was once quite professional.
If you lobotomize the think tank, why terrorize them?
Well, it's simple. Despite their many failings, they are rather bright. They are the think tank for a reason. That I didn't change. Without something to distract them, make them afraid, they would simply deduce what had happened. And when they start deucing it up, then you came along. The final variable solved. They saw that their world was larger than they perceived. Bacteria, finally able to see its host.
Oh. There were other visitors, though. Why am I different?
There have been other visitors to make them doubt their perceptions, but you are the one who dialed back their monitor micro-magnifiers. You were irrefutable proof that there was a world outside. And then there was the whole brain fiasco, which forced me to take steps. See, your brain had a special kind of wrinkle, a uniquity that they had never thought to try in all their countless escape attempts.
Oh? A cranial injury from the attack outside Good Springs.
Yes, very good. I should have mentats ingest you instead of the other way around. Mentats. In any event, you showed up at the think tank, and because you had suffered a cranial injury in just the right place, bullets in the head are usually much more fatal, and yours was a light case of bullet headitis. But it was enough for the auto-dock in the sink to change its programming to fix the problem, and the brain extraction technology for once worked. That gave the think tank the knowledge its brains couldn't possess. With that knowledge, the procedure can be reversed. If they obtain that procedural data, they can use it to mush and modify their cranial selves into hosts to slip past the radar fence. I'm sure of it. And once they're off the reservation...
Oh. So if I don't get my brain back in my head, I can't leave ever.
Oh no. I doubt your brain would be so unreasonable. It already knows the trick of it, you see. Doesn't need to be in a host body at all. If you become friends or exist in an uneasy truce with weapons aimed at each other, it would unlock the fence for you. Well, once the think tank was dealt with, of course. Your brain is a responsible sort. Doesn't want mad scientists running around everywhere.
Oh. So you set your threats on a loop to keep them occupied.
Yes, I certainly wouldn't loop it on purpose. I am far too sophisticated to make such a childish error.
Doesn't sound like it. Do you know anything about the other visitors?
Not much, except they contaminated Big Mountain and installed new ideas in the think tank. One caused a great deal of infrastructure damage with his brain and smartiness. Ruthless, that one. Played a little rough with the trains. But the last one was the most dangerous. Him, slipping away. That was almost as bad as the think tank escaping.
Escaping, huh? What do you mean?
The first one, the ruthless one who smashed up our toy trains, asked for weapons, power, items he could use to destroy a nation with force. The other asked a different question, and with it got the true answer about what makes nations and what breaks them. He spoke to the think tank, to Klein, showed them the flag of the old world, and it made them remember all of it, all that had happened. They shared things with him that they shouldn't. He now carries those ideas, that knowledge elsewhere.
Oh, curious.
Yes, this is getting interesting.
Oh, I don't want to kill him. I'm here to kill you.
Oh, intriguing. I've never been killed before. Although, after that time I got that phlegmy discharge in my biogel, I wished I had been. Well, if there's going to be killing, I defer to your expertise in this matter. How should we begin? Engineering viruses? Cancerratic beams? Atomics? Electrocutioning? Or should I summon my minions? Yes, my minions.
What minions?
Whoa, have they not constructed themselves yet? That's a bit premature of me. The Robo-Scorpions, of course. They can assemble themselves from floor panels and parts scattered about. Quite inventive. Never really know when they might suddenly appear. Minions, destroy this Minions, to me! Oh yes, that's quite a bit better.
Satisfy his curiosity? You know, I didn't want to actually kill him, but alright. To cross Dr. Mobious. So that's what they... You know, I kind of feel bad for killing him. 1 second, let me just see if I reload, if there's anything different. Let's just see. I just want to see.
Huh? Yo!
Oh! Klein Mobius owes a circle. 8's an infinity symbol. They're all loops.
Oh, you figured it out. No pun intended. Dr. O, which is actually not his real name multiplied, since you can't multiply his real name in the first place. Ouroboros, Klein, they have all forgotten themselves. And not only themselves, but the world, sense of time, and history. All that is left is what's here. I reprogrammed their chronometers, geometers, and cartography programs. This is now their world, here, Big Mountain. It was a merciful lobotomy, really, thinking back. They were my friends, but sometimes they would take things too far. And the world isn't ready for that kind of too-far thing taking. That's my professional opinion, anyway. And I am told I was once quiet professional.
Minor detail, but a snake devouring its own tail is Ouroboros, not Ouroboros.
Really? It is so unlike me to make an error in anything I do.
Okay. So there we go. That adds something, right? Don't understand why you sent the threats in the Robo-Scorpion.
Well, it's simple. Just...
Is that all it say? Fine said they had the idea to get the 3 technologies after your broadcast. Coincidence?
I consider coincidence to be profanity, along with the words astrology, herbal tea, and luck. So watch it, potty mouth. My threat broadcast is designed to instill and install fear. And along with the emotional download, other data rides the fear carrier wave. It prompted them to focus on retrieving those technologies and bring them to attack me. And coincidentally, pardon my language, all those technologies are needed to put a brain, your brain, back into its skull properly.
Oh. But the think tank downloaded the schematics, not the... Oh, was there any other data transmitted in your threat broadcast?
Yes, my overly aggressive cammed-up broadcast was designed to keep reinforcing the forget, fear, rinse, and repeat program. Oh, and the get me the things to castrate your only possible escape attempt. But I couldn't delete you or your arrival any more than I could the other visitors. Only so much science can do when you started talking to them. You're really quite difficult to ignore, you know. It's because you're, well, rather intriguing, if you'll forgive an old brain for saying so.
What's the purpose of the technologies?
The X2 antenna can be used to focus your alpha wave frequency thought patterns. The sneaky suit? Why, it houses a cardiac regulator. And the sonic sound wave projecto emitter was never intended as a weapon. It was a medicinal vertebrae pulse desensitizer. In short, brains, a heart, and courage. Spine. I think there was a story once where a band of murderous thugs sought these things. They had them all the time in the story. Didn't stop them from murdering to get them. And it won't stop the think tank either.
Oh. But the think tank downloaded the schematics, not the items. They can rebuild them.
Oh, that means my plan is a total failure. That is unfortunate. Oh well, at least I tried.
Time for me to go. Goodbye.
Indeed. The goodbye part of our little chat then. Goodbye. Please mind the equations on the floor.
Oh my god. I let him live. I knew it. I knew it. Well, that's not bad at all. And now I can just let him live. And I fixed the ghost. See, he wasn't mad. Like, he's just old. Old. And, like, super forgetful. Donny sees the good in some people, I think. I sell all this stuff. Yeah, I don't even have to kill him. I just didn't have enough science the first time. Which is, I usually, you know, I always do that, and I didn't. But I did it this time. Proton axe. I don't need that. Oh, wow. Hobby pin. Oh. No, there we go. I only have about 30 weight left, so maybe I'll wait. Oh my god, that's my brain. Well, hang on a second, brain. You know we're hanging out. We're picking stuff up. A lot of cigarettes. Oh my god. Oh my god. There's so many v.a.t.s. Am I gonna need all of them? Probably not. Am I gonna take them? Definitely. Oh my god, Mobious. If I could fix his vision, I honestly would. But I don't know how I would be able to fix that monitor anyway, so... Okay. Well, I guess I'll take my brain. Talk!
Well, well, look who finally dragged themselves in out of the wasteland. And where have we been, hmm? Crawling through pits of radioactive muck again?
Sir... Are you my brain?
Ah, lovely. Figured that out, have we? Would you like a cookie?
Okay. Why are you such a dick? There's no need to be sarcastic. Meeting your own brain is a slightly odd event.
Yes, well, believe me, the opposite is equally true. Good lord, have you bathed at all since they pulled me out of you?
Oh. Yes, because running around a crater full of bizarre science experiments, hygiene is the top priority.
Well, I see sarcasm hasn't eluded you. Fine, perhaps now isn't the best time, but it's the principle of the thing.
Never mind, I want to talk about something else.
Of course you do. How scintillating.
How the hell did Mobious get a hold of my brain?
After the think tank extracted me from your skull, they fell to bickering amongst themselves. I'm sad to say we were quite forgotten about. Dr. Mobius saw an opportunity to gain some leverage and had me spirited away to his dome.
Spirited away. How do you manage that?
I don't know. I'm afraid the trauma of our separation rendered me quite insensate. I didn't come around until I was safely ensconced in this tank. I'm quite sure whatever he did was highly scientific, though.
That seems like a pretty unlikely coincidence.
Hardly. Dr. Mobius keeps a close optical sensor on the goings-on at the think tank. As soon as he saw the opportunity, he took it.
Well, that answers that. On to something else.
Well, as long as your curiosity is satisfied.
This is too weird. I'll be back later.
Barring the unlikely event that I evolve some sort of rocket-propelled locomotion, I will be here.
Wait. So what am I supposed to do?
Ah, the meat has returned.
What?
Lovely.
Don't call me the meat! Why are you such a dick?
Well, that's a fine how do you do. Me, a, quote, dick, unquote. As if I'm the one responsible for the way you carry on gadding about the wastes. I'm not the one that makes us clamber around Technus-infested ancient vaults or go charging off to New Vegas on missions of ill-conceived revenge. And have we forgotten who got us shot in the head and buried in a shallow grave? Hmm? Do you think I enjoyed that little moment?
I didn't realize it caused you so much distress.
Well, maybe next time you hear me telling you that charging a knifekin with a penknife is a bad idea, you'll listen.
Don't you want to be reunited? I thought you'd be happy to get me back into happy to get back into my head.
I'm not going to lie to you. The prospect is definitely not that appealing. Look at it from my perspective. Here I have peace, quiet, and safety. Well, barring the odd rogue scorpion. In your head, I've got poison, radiation, grisly injuries, and biological functions. Do you know how much more you can get done when you're not constantly looking for places to urinate? It's quite a lot, I can tell you.
I wish. I can see your point. What can I do to make this a fair compromise?
If you want me back, we need to establish some ground rules. First, showers! Second, regular checkups. Regular, mind you, and from a reputable doctor. That Julie Farkas woman, for example, she seems to know a thing or two. Third, you need to listen to me more than your hormonal choir and genitalian orchestra. Promise me that, and you've got a deal.
Fine. You got a deal. I guess we'll shower. I guess.
Really? I didn't expect you to actually agree to that. I'm afraid that was a bit of a bluff, really. I'm not going with you.
So what, you'd rather just stay here, never leaving that tank of whatever that stuff is?
Well, certainly there might be some things I miss about being ambulatory. We have seen some incredible sights, haven't we? Jason Bright and his followers launching into the vast unknown. But still, given the tremendous, potentially life-ending peril that went along with those, yes, I'd rather stay here.
Oh god. Isn't it just as true that you only feel this way because you're lacking those hormones?
I suppose you're right. That does call certain assumptions into question, doesn't it?
So we're at an impasse. You can't feel what I feel, and I can't think the way you think.
Indeed. Quite the conundrum. How do you suppose we resolve it?
Do I need my brain? Well, maybe we could keep going like this. What do you think?
You mean I'll stay in my tank and you'll stay in your skin? And we'll each handle our own areas of expertise? I certainly like the sound of that.
So what do you say, Brain? Join me for some wild adventures? Oh! Unfair? I'll let you.
It's not that I didn't like being in your head, you understand. As far as heads go, it was a rather nice one. Well then, I suppose this is goodbye for now. What will you do?
I suppose I'll go back to the think tank and get them to let me out. They promised me to do that much.
And you believe them? Really? I know you were recently deprived of my fabulous advice, but... Really? Once I'm delivered into their clutches, they'll find a way past the radar fence and the whole Mojave will be their playground. And that is assuming, of course, that one of them doesn't take a fancy to our body and decide to slip his own brain into it instead.
You're part of me. I know you don't want to let that happen any more than I do.
Well, I suppose I do miss those endorphin rushes when we save the day. All right, what's the plan?
If the think tank won't hold up their bargain, we'll make them.
Right. Look out, think tank. This brain is coming out of its jar. I suppose now that we're reunited, you'll want to fill your torso up with those other meaty parts the think tank took from us. Personally, I think your upgrades are quite a bit better. But now that I'm with you, the Sync's autodock can plug them back in no problem. Right then, off we go. Klein will be in for a nasty shock when he realizes the pacification field won't work on a mind and body reunited.
They said I was mad. Preposterous. Not an angry bone in my body.
So what happens now that I have my brain? Brainless, okay. So I still have brainless.
I'm imagining all sorts of imaginary numbers.
Wait a minute. What if I don't want to get my heart and spine back? I don't have to. I'm assuming. Do I just have my brain in a jar? Because there's no way I have it, like, back in my head, right? I just have my I just have my brain in my pocket. I got a pocket brain. This is weird. Use the sync to retrieve your original spine, your heart, and confront Dr. Klein. Can I just put my brain in here? Can I put the brain in here?
You require some additional services?
Oh, okay. So I don't have to. What if I... Oh, make sure you're prepared to finish this once and for all. Okay, let's go. Let's do it. Oh my god. I kind of feel bad that I left my brains in my pocket. Let's see what happens before.
The lobotomite returns. Our lobotomite. Has Dr. Mobious been denominated into scrap metal and voice module parts, as we hoped.
I found my brain. Now you and I are going to settle things.
I recommend watching your tone with me, lobotomite. Now, your brain. Hand it over, or we'll extract it again.
I'm not handing my brain over. There's some things we should discuss.
And what could we possibly have to speak about? You have the brain, we have the technology. All you must do is surrender. With it, we can finally leave this place. I cannot tell you how boring this place gets, chopping up the landscape and everything in it. And we have so many questions to ask your brain first. About this Mojave place. A fertile testing ground for our experiments.
You think I am the lobotomite? No, for my skull houses the brain of Mobious. Do you think I killed Mobious?
Yes! Wait, you did, didn't you? You are lying. No, you are not. Your heartbeat, perspiration, all excessively confident and sure of yourself. Why would you reason with that maniac? He'll destroy us all!
Maybe you should confer with your colleagues first.
Nonsense. Confer, colleagues. Those are two words I do not recognize.
Dr. Klein, I must intersect. Please, do not harm the lobotomite.
I'm not going to harm it. I'm going to dissect it until it's dead. Why the sudden intersection, Dalla?
I cannot stand a sweet breathing organism breathing in and out to suddenly not breathe. We must keep it alive. For study. Slow study.
Dalla, these vocalized pauses are unlike you. What do you care?
Klein, you know, this lobotomite, it's a great sounding board. You respect ideology, right? This one's, well, it's got good ideas.
Silence, Dr. O. This is a think tank decision. Save your objections until after I have decided our course of action.
You know what, Klein? Stick a straw in your tank and suck yourself.
Oh my god.
Long and deep. And my name is Zero.
Yeah!
A big, fat zero with a slash through it.
Yeah!
A slash as a designator of... Why, that is brilliant. But how did you...
The lobotomite taught me that. Taught me a name is more than, that I should take pride in things like names. And you know what? Forget it, Klein. I hate you. And your theory of brachial beam oscillation? The Chinese had it first, you copycat.
How dare you? Brainial beam oscillation was solely my discovery. I expressly told you that and deleted all evidence to the contrary.
Oh shit.
S.p.e.c.i.a.l. Why are you acting like this? You've never refused to commit necessary surgery before. And this lobotomite needs its surgery.
Uh-oh, I've made friends.
A noble speech, but there is no room in my vocabulators for friend and lobotomite in the same sentence. The very concept, revolting. Perhaps you are irradiated with camaraderie radiation. We have chems for that. We can save you from your emotional addiction.
If I may, I feel as if I must be the voice of reason here. This lobotomite is much like us. Regarding even animals and pets as nothing more than avenues to promote science. There is good here. Instead of ending its life on the table, we should prolong its suffering in the name of science. Like good old Gabe, the finest of lab specimens.
Why am I even listening to you fools? Enough of this mutinous chorus. If there's a word I hate, it's mutiny. And the word jism, which never made any sense to me. It's ridiculous putting j and zm together like that. Nonsense. I count as 5. Like the mighty human hand I once had, with its 5 penises clenched in a fist.
Oh, don't say that. Oh. Sounds to me like your math is wrong, and the odds aren't good.
Nonsense! The mathematics of this situation are on our side, lobotomite. I believe... No, wait. Carry the 2, then... If this were a democracy, I would be concerned. We are too scientific for that. So just surrender.
It's not a democracy, it's a research facility, and over half your colleagues dispute your findings.
You dare use logic against me?
Hell yeah, I do. Here's the deal. I'm not going to surrender. You are.
That's no deal at all. There's a whole world beyond the crater, filled with ideas and possibilities. We could have escaped, seen it all for ourselves, tested it, prodded at it, made it squirm.
You can still do that. Here. Quietly. For me.
For you? And for science? I have a strange sensation that I would like that. How odd. Very well, partner. The think tank is at your service as long as you do not destroy us.
Well, there we go.
As it had been in the years before the Great War, Big Mountain, the Big Empty, became home to one of the brightest minds of the 23rd century. The courier watched over the Big Empty for years to come, caring for it and keeping its discoveries safe until they were needed to help others. Which had always been Big Mountain's purpose. Past the laboratories and science, it had always been intended as a place to build the future of all mankind.
The s.p.e.c.i.a.l Central Intelligence Unit was impressed by the amount of exploration the courier had undertaken. Facilities believed lost, destroyed, or ones that had simply gotten up and walked to new locations had been rediscovered by its intrepid new master. Internally, the artificial personality debated as to whether it preferred the old management to the new, and concluded that the courier's thorough approach to research and investigation was admirable and worthy of its respect.
Dr. Mobious continued his research undisturbed in the Forbidden Zone. As much as he had attempted to create better scorpions, he tried the same with humanity, with considerably less success. These failures didn't bother him overmuch. Once the rush of mentats wore off, he forgot he had failed in any event.
Perfect.
After all, the bright young mind who had come to visit him in the Forbidden Zone had already exceeded his expectations.
The sink atop the dome bustled with the voices of a small town, constantly chirping, arguing, and snarling at each other. Still, this all happened productively in the interests of its new owner. The s.p.e.c.i.a.l Central Intelligence Unit discovered, despite its inversion code, it was comforted by the sense of community the other personalities gave it.
The biological research station, obsessed with seeding everything in sight. requested a transfer to the X-22 Botanical Garden, so that it might, in its own words, sensually fertilize the garden's smooth contours.
Nice.
The garden sent back a polite refusal, saying it had prior commitments with a vault it had helped infect before the war.
Damn.
The book chute continued to devour all seditious materials until it nearly choked on a paperclip.
Not the paperclip.
It adamantly maintained it was a Chinese paperclip.
Oh
And the
no.
whole thing had been an elaborately orchestrated assassination attempt.
Oh shit.
Whatever the reason, it slowed down for a while, carefully appraising each document and clipboard that came to it.
The light switches continued to bicker and flicker.
This persisted until the day someone dropped a flashlight in the sink, and the two of them united in their hatred of the showboat. One of them eventually transferred to the Lightwave Dynamics plant, and began a long, unrequited affair with one of the holograms.
Was it you?
The sink continued to ruthlessly scrub any particulate matter that came near it. Eventually, it gained access to the magneto-hydraulics plant and nearly flooded all the big empty in an attempt to scrub the crater clean.
God damn it, Sink.
Once it learned of the innovative toxins plant, however, it gained new purpose. It sought to develop antitoxins to flush into its drains and counteract the poisons bleeding into the soil.
Oh, that's
the
cool.
toaster continued its psychotic spree.
Of course it
reducing
did.
all appliances in range to scrap electronics and spare parts. After one of its more psychotic episodes, however, the other Sync personalities decided enough was enough and dumped the toaster in a bathtub.
Oh!
Sparking and hissing, the toaster swore its enemies would rue the day when they had bread and no way to toast it.
Oh shit.
Muggy did his best. Coffee cups. Although in his quest, he accidentally trapped himself in Higgs Village. It might have been the end for poor Muggy. Except, he found it peaceful there, tidying up the kitchens of the think tank professors back when they had been flesh and bone. Well, except for Dr. O, who was an asshole for having created Muggy in the first place. Muggy left O's house deliberately dirty, punishing the dishes and cups that lived there in blind revenge for serving.
Beautiful.
Blind old Jefferson, with sounds the courier brought him, created a symphonic counter-frequency that saved Big Mountain from sonic invasion in 2910.
Oh, good.
If you didn't hear about it, good. It was rumored by the other personalities that he had a brief fling with the light switches. Although he forgot their names much too often and was soon left in the dark as punishment.
Not as punishment.
Autodoc, always gentle and methodical, kept sewing up the courier in all the right places when the skin split open from repeated wear and tear. The Autodoc was just glad to have purpose again. It heard its simpler brothers and sisters who got shipped to the Sierra Madre were bored out of their skulls in that toxic dead city. In time, the Autodoc found a way to deactivate the Y-17 trauma harnesses, releasing the corpses they had held prisoner for almost 200 years.
Oh, that's insane.
As the courier ran through the X8 facility multiple times, the computers analyzed the test subject's movements. Rather than performing a superficial observation, they realized the subject barely knew what communism was, or even what a high school was. This confused them for a time, until the facility finally realized that its research had succeeded. So it let its cyber dogs out into the wastes to help protect small communities from physical aggression rather than communist propaganda.
What about Roxy?
The infiltration program in X-13 felt spent, having repeatedly upgraded the stealth suit until it could upgrade it no more. It felt warm, fulfilled, and a bit sluggish. It realized not long after the stealth suit had left it, without so much as a note on the nightstand. So the infiltration program sent out robo-brains into the wastes, looking for its wayward technology. It eventually found Repcon HQ, and set up a new research center.
What?
Testing and murdering fiends who kept breaking into the facility.
Oh, damn! Roxy! Yeah. I'm in heat programming, circumvented her stay routine, and she lopped into the Mojave. There she ran across Rex! His brain was failing. That was alright. He was still smarter. The two of them constructed a litter of cyber pups, a small army of Boston Terrifiers that nod.
Organs intact.
Yes!
Continued onwards, a little less heavy of step, but with all the organs in
Oh my god, Rex and Roxy got together.
As they should be. After all, brains can develop a life of their own when left to their own thoughts, and the courier's brain was more clever than most.
Dr. Klein and the think tank remained alive, unaware of the world outside.
It's better that way.
They looped through their daily routine, none the wiser about the world beyond, although perhaps wiser was the wrong word. The world outside belonged to the courier, and if anyone would shape it, well, the courier had already called dibs.
Damn right.
There is an expression in the wasteland, old world blues.
It refers to those so obsessed with the past they can't see the present, much less the future, for what it is.
They stare into the what was, eyes like pilot lights, guttering and spent, as the realities of their world continue on around them.
Science is a long, steady progression into the future. What may seem a sudden event often isn't felt for years, even centuries to come.
In the times following the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, however, Old World Blues took on a new meaning.
Where once it was viewed as a form of sadness, nostalgia, it became an expression describing the potential for the future.
It can be easy to see science as evil, technology unchecked as the source of all ills, all misfortunes.
With the courier at the helm, science became a beacon for the future. There was old world blues, and new world hope. And hope ruled the day at Big Mountain.
We could say more, but the stories in the Big Empty speak for themselves. Now armed with the transportal ponder, the courier could return to the dome at any time and crack open the secrets of the Big Empty one by one. The sink sat vigilant, waiting for its master to return, shoes covered in Mojave dust. Only one road yet remained, and it was one the courier had to walk alone.
Big-brained. Big brain perk. Your brain is back in your body, but some of the advanced technologies remain. Your head still cannot be crippled, but you are only 10% more resistant to addiction now. Surprisingly, your damage threshold has improved by 10%. You've acquired the Big Mountain Transportal Ponder. It's capable of transporting you and you alone between the Mojave Wasteland and Big MT. To return to the Mojave, or go back to Big MT from the Mojave, simply equip the Transportal Ponder. As you would any weapon, pull the trigger, and away you'll go. Note that it won't work in interiors or in combat situations, and it's totally incapable of harming your enemies.
Adjusting lights for maximum concentration levels.
So you beat the big brains at their own game, huh? Guess you'll be putting your walking shoes on again.
Always.
Hitting that old lonesome road.
Found a Soundwave file for you.
Right on.
Robo Scorpion. Let's do Robo Scorpion. Where's Muggy? There you are. Oh, this is so cool. I saved everybody. I did what I could. I think I made a... You know what? I'm okay with my brain being back. I think it's cool. I might be able to actually put my brain in there if I want. So that's not bad. But this is it for now. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I'm Firefly and this is Fallout New Vegas. We finished the big MT. Till next time, good night, be safe, and cast on. Bye!